now, for a podcast that nobody asked for, please welcome the sister himself, Jake Doolittle.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to watch this podcast called Nobody Asked. I'm Jake Doolittle. This is my first solo podcast I've ever done. Now, I had a podcast, or I still have a podcast on my Patreon called Jake Talks, sort of a play on Trish Talks, because I feel like I'm a comic genius and I don't know what else there is to say about that. Like, I'm funny. That's wordplay for you. That's wordplay. Do you understand? Yeah. Glad you do. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. But I'm just a little too advanced. So, off to a good start, being an asshole. As you can see, this is a new space. Now, this is not me big timing you, okay? This is me just moving, okay? Hannah has an internship in Virginia that we moved for, and it's very exciting. I moved everything, and honestly, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. You know, I hate when people say that moving is like the hardest thing in the world, because it's like you just like pick things up from one place and then move them to another. I mean, is that mean? Kind of, but like not really, because some people do say that that's the hardest thing they've ever done. Moving is really hard, man. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, my thoughts are out for you. Like, moving's really hard. Is it? Is it? Or do you just pack, like, things up and then you just move them to another spot? I mean, there is, like, emotional damage and whatever. Like, unfortunately, we had to leave the cat behind. That little rascal. Our little kitty Goosey. Now, to be honest, that affects Hannah more than it affects me, because I get to sleep. I get to, have fun, not worry about a life that I could ruin, because I'm focusing on not ruining my own. You know what I'm saying? But no, in all seriousness, I do miss the cat a lot. But there are some upsides, and if Hannah's watching this, I'm sorry, but there are some upsides to living alone in a city without a cat. Also, we didn't bring her. Like, the reason why we didn't bring her was because she would be really and I know this sounds like a cop-out, but Hannah also agreed. So it's like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like fuck you. Because you're probably thinking, like, Jake, you, like, controlled her. You're, like, so controlling, Jake. Like, that's what you're known for on the internet. Like, you're controlling her. And what I have to say about that is, no, that's wrong. Thank you very much. Because Goosey, our little kitty cat, who just turned 1. Actually, just kidding. Gonna miss her birthday, but that's fine. Good. Our little cat Goosey is awful in the car. And it's not just like she's awful in the car like it can be fixed. This is a non-fixable thing. Okay, we've given her pills. We've given her human Benadryl. We've given her literally everything: our lives, our souls, our funds, and she still won't be in the car for longer than 10 minutes without shitting herself. Like, she shits herself, she pukes herself, she cries, she spits out fucking like bile. It's awful. It's horrible, and I wouldn't want to put her through that. So we moved her to Hannah's house, and Hannah's parents will take care of her. They have a bunch of animals, so it'll be good. She'll probably be better there. She'll be freaked out here. There's a lot of, like, city noise, and we drove in the car. It was 8 hours the first day, 6 hours the second day, and that's only because we, like, stopped, and, Daddy has to poop a lot. And I don't mean to, like, stray away from like the topic at hand, but it's like sometimes IBS gets me, and I don't want I don't know, it just sucks. Okay, And if you laughed at that, well, first of all, nobody's laughing at this because nobody's watching this. And that's the issue. Somebody has to watch this for people to laugh at it, which is good. But say that, I don't know, a family member is watching this, because that's probably the only people who are watching this. I'm not going to talk about poop for long, okay? And that was actually the only time I'm talking about poop this episode. I'm not one of these comedians where I just talk about feces all the time, okay? I'm a real grown-up. Thank you very much. What else did I have written down? Good. So, we got here, and it was a journey. I didn't really... I'm sorry, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, I need a pillow right here. Because, like, this isn't comfortable. Also, I don't like this camera angle because it shows off big tummy, big legs. You know what I mean? Like, this camera angle is just not for me. But I'll still probably put it out because I need to put out a podcast. What was I going to say? So we got here, we ate out like the first couple days, and then reality set in. We had to like get groceries, whatever, who cares? I actually just went to go get groceries. That's why I'm all sweaty and nasty. Also, I got a haircut. So I might talk about that in the video because that's so fascinating, Jake. You're actually really good at content, and that's awesome. Jake, you're so good at content. I like when like fandoms talk about like people getting haircuts, because like to me, I don't really understand it. It's like you just got a haircut, you know what I mean? And I didn't get a haircut for the longest time because I was just lazy and I didn't like the social aspect of haircuts. Now you're probably like, there is no social aspect of haircuts, but there is, okay? Because you have to go to a haircut and you have to like, I don't know, you have to like physically, somebody has to work around your head for 30 to 45 minutes. And that's no fun. I don't like that. Big truck driving by. I don't like that. And I've avoided haircuts because of that reason. It's genuinely my least favorite thing in the world. I don't like the small talk. Literally, this last guy. Also, I hate getting haircuts because I have very thick hair. Not to flex or anything, but I have very thick hair. Okay, she thick. And I just hate it because they always make a comment about my thick hair. And like, I know that it's sort of like a compliment kind of, but like it's also backhanded because like the guy who I was talking to today was genuine, or not today. Jesus. Everything's been a bit of a mess, and God, my life sucks. Being a content creator is the worst. Anyways, I got a haircut probably a week ago. So not today. Wow. Good. I got a haircut probably a week ago, and the guy who was cutting my hair was like, geez, your hair's pretty thick. And I was like, yes, it is. I hear that a lot. And he goes, yeah, I mean, I had to bring out the shears for this. I never have to use the shears. Okay, all right, sounds good. It's like, all right, like, stop complaining, okay? And then he goes, geez, you're giving me an arm workout. I have to cut all this hair. Hey, isn't that your fucking job? Is that not your job to cut hair? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Also, I gave you a hefty tip, okay? Well, that was after. But I shouldn't have, because he was also like mad at the end because it went over his time. He was like, I booked you for 30 minutes and this took 32 minutes. Like, I don't want to get off track. Hey, he didn't have another appointment. So like he could have like fucked up my hair. The back of my hair, I could have like a rat tail going on here. I don't, but I could have. And I shouldn't have left a whopping tip. But I felt bad. Because like, oh, also, this pissed me off. We went over, who am I? Jake, went over to the to the checkout. And usually, you know, like they ring you up and do a bunch of things or whatever. He like hit a couple buttons and then walked away, and he was like, see ya. And then I left like a pity tip. I left a pity tip because I was like, oh, he's going to see this. He's going to walk back over and see that I didn't like tip well. Then I left him like fucking, it was a $20 haircut, and I think I left him like $10. What the fuck am I doing? What? I just got Patreon money. I just got paid for Patreon, and now I'm spending it all on this guy to fucking ruin me. I also got, okay, I had a cool pair of shoes. This does make sense. The city that we're in requires a lot of walking, okay? And the shoes that I had were Air Force Ones, and they were a special collaboration, or no, they weren't Air Force Ones, Air Max 90s. And they were a special collaboration of whatever the fuck. And okay, I was a hype beast. I'll say it, okay? When I first started making money online, and by making money online, I mean COVID money, you know what I mean? Because I was literally on unemployment, or no, I was on disability because I got injured at SNL. So I was on disability, and then they gave you like that month, the weekly money, and I was rolling in it. I was like 18. I was spending literally everything I got. Which now looking back is so smart. I could have invested some of it and like had, I don't know, 2-3 times what I have now. That's fun to think about. Anyways, with all this money, I bought a very expensive pair of shoes. They're off-white Air Max 90s. They were my dream shoes. I loved these shoes. And they were about $600, okay? Because I was 18 years old, and that was stupid. Now, I've worn these shoes every day since I was 18 because my theory is if you spend that much money on a pair of shoes, you better fucking wear them, because if you don't, then there's no point. I know that there's a lot of people who like are sneaker heads who like don't wear their shoes, and that's obnoxious. If you don't wear your shoes, you're crazy. But also like there is a middle ground there, because like I don't clean my shoes. My shoes look awful. Like I spent $600 on them, but if I took them into like a consignment shop, they would offer me like 100. Like it's bad. Maybe 125. Okay. They're beautiful shoes. I love them, but wow, are they uncomfortable. And I didn't realize they were uncomfortable until I was like walking around the city with Hannah, and it was like, I don't know, half a mile walk. I was like, holy shit, my feet hurt, my knees hurt, like literally everything hurts. My life hurts. Actually, I knew someone who used to say that all the time. They used to go, I used to go like, oh, my back hurts. And then they go, my life hurts. Oh, you are a pleasure to be around. Wow. Anyways, yesterday I got a pair of old man walking shoes. Hannah and I went to the mall. I went to about 8 different stores, and Hannah was fed up with me because she hates the mall. She hates being in an area with a lot of people, and I fully understand that because I usually hate being in a crowd of people too. But surprisingly, I was like determined. I was like, I want to get a new pair of shoes. So now when I purchase something, when I spend my money on anything, I research the fuck out of it because I'm a little nerd. Like I sold my car because we don't need 2 cars for Virginia, and we're going to be here for like 4 months. So I sold my car, and I just invested the money that I got for the car, and then hopefully outside of Virginia 5 months from now, I'll buy another car. So I'm researching a bunch of cars. In a dream world, I would get like a hybrid or an electric vehicle, but like, wow, those are expensive and views are dropping, honey. So I don't know how realistic that is. Anyways, I researched best shoes for knee pain, okay? And like what came up was like Nike running shoes and Hoka. I've never heard of this brand Hoka, but like it's fine. What was the other one? Brooks, New Balance. Also, stupid idiot, I only brought the Air Max 90s to Virginia. I should have brought more pairs of shoes, but I only brought one, which is great. So, went to 8 stores inside this mall. Like, literally, like, 8 stores within, like, all next to each other. Foot Locker, Champs, Finish Line, Shoe Department, Shoe Valley, Shoe Village, Shoe... Like, also, why are all these shoe stores named after, like, geographical locations where it's like Shoe City, Shoe Valley, Shoe Gorge. That's my favorite place. Walked around the mall for like an hour and a half, and guess what? Feet still hurt, and I didn't get a pair of shoes. And then, well, I mean, partly because there was no, like, they didn't have any of the old man running shoes I wanted. All the New Balances were like cool. All the Nikes were cool. All the Adidas were cool. And I was like, I don't want cool. I literally just want function and something that like makes my feet feel so good. So I went to Dick's Sporting Goods. And now Dick's Sporting Goods is hilarious because Dick is also a name for a penile object. And that makes me laugh a lot. But so I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and Hannah stayed in the car because she was over it, and we just got Starbucks. So, you know, I went in, and also, mind you, this is back to school shopping season, and I didn't realize that. Like, I just wanted a pair of like old man shoes, and then there's like kids being like, no, I want the Jordan 10s in this color, and if you don't have them, I'm gonna call my supervisor. Children are saying that. And so I ended up I tried on 2 pairs of shoes. I tried on the Adidas Ultra Boost and the Asics something. Now I tried on the Adidas Ultra Boost, and I was like, oh my god, these are so comfortable. These are so comfortable, right? I love these so much in comparison to my Air Max 90s. And then I tried on these Asics, and they are dad shoes. Trust me, they are the daddiest of shoes. I put them on, everybody around me goes, daddy, you know? So I put them on, and my like knees clicked into place, and it felt so good. Like I felt so good. And like I was walking, and everything was good. And I was pumped. Anyways, bought them, $140. Yes, $140. Yes. And they're gray and black and white. And if I spoke to my dad, he would probably be wearing these. Any sort of father figure in my life. Maybe my stepdad. My stepdad would probably wear these. Yeah, let's not talk about my actual dad. God, probably I'm gonna jerk off just to the thought of me mentioning his name. Christ. I shouldn't have said my dad. Fuck. Because he's probably like currently jerking off, and it's like, ugh. God, Dad, you should have. I thought that he would stop at the jerking off near me when I was like a preteen. I didn't know that it would continue through the internet. Anyways, so that's my life update. Let's get into some current events. I do have a couple current events. Okay. Andrew Tate banned from Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Now, I'm all for this, but I do like that other people in the commentary space are being like canceled for like defending him. So I want you to take this out of context and just post a clip of this for me. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, here we go. Andrew Tate banned. What the fuck is up with that? What? Are you kidding me? I wanted some kind of like positive role model in my life. I finally find him, and then they're banning, like they're deplatforming him. What is the deal with this? Are you kidding me? Banned off of TikTok, fuck, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. What's next? YouTube? What's next? World Wide Web? Are you kidding me? You can't deplatform him. You just can't. What's next? You ban Hustlers University Discord? Oh, fuck. God. Let's look at some of the things that he said. Because I genuinely agree with all of this. Let's see. Here's a quote from Andrew Tate. Women are intrinsically lazy. There's no such thing as an independent female. Dewey! Boo! Obviously, Christ. These fucking idiots, these liberals are trying to ban my guy Tate, the toppest of G's. Are you kidding me? Fuck. God, I genuinely agree with that. Okay. Here's another quote from the top G. If I have responsibility over her, then I must have a degree of authority. You can't be responsible for a dog if it doesn't obey you. Duh. Women, dogs. Done. Obviously, are you kidding me? Women equals dogs. Men equals little kitty cats. God, these people are like genuinely insane. I hate that we're deplatforming these people who, like, I don't know, they're providing some kind of hope for the younger generation. And it's like, I just don't understand. So anyways, I'm deleting all my accounts that Andrew Tate was banned on. TikTok, deleting. Okay. Facebook, deleting. Instagram, deleting. Twitter, also deleting. And I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry for leaving you contentless. But if Top G can't post content, then neither can I. Okay? Do you understand? What he's doing isn't bad. It's just like it's what everybody's thinking, but doesn't have the balls to say. Where have we heard that before? Christ. God, it's so obnoxious that, like, people genuinely support this guy who's, like, the worst. Like, I can't think of anybody who's worse. Also, I don't like when people say that. This guy's the worst. Well, I mean, he does human traffic women, and he's a full misogynist, and he calls women dogs. But also, there are worse people. He's bad. He's really bad. Trust me. He's really bad. But there are worse people. Okay. So that's my Andrew Tate segment. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. What's my next topic? Oh, this is a good one. So this was 3 days ago. And I really love this. This is in Utah, and the headline is, after a girl beat their daughters in sports, Utah parents triggered investigation into whether she was transgendered. What? You're telling me that your kid got beat at a sport, which also sports are useless? Just kidding. I mean, team building, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, what? And then you're trying to first of all, you're like making an investigation to try to out someone, which is great. Love that. And then just the fact that, like, I don't know. I wonder. Let's see. After one competitor outclassed the rest of the field in a girls' state level competition last year, the parents of the competitors who placed second and third, so they joined together. They joined forces to out with the Utah High School Activities Association, questioning the person's gender. The school went back to kindergarten, and she'd always been a female. Darn it! Fooled again. God, what a weird, how strange is that? Our girls are the best. She cannot be beat. Okay, what are we going to do to prove to the world that she is the best? Well, the only way that she could be beat is if she got beat by a transgender woman. That's what it is. That's what it is. Our kids are so talented. Our kids are the best at what they do. And you know what it is? The person who beat them is trans. That's what it is. That makes sense, right? Also, how crazy would that be if the person was trans? What? Oh my God, what? Imagine if those parents were just like, I told you. I told you. Our kids can't be beat. I told you. Wow. Imagine outing someone because you're a sore loser. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. God. Also, Utah, huh? Mormons. Love them. Love them. Curtis, Annie, and Drew did a show in Utah, Salt Lake, to be exact. And it was a weird vibe because, like, I don't know. I don't know if they wanted comedy. I don't know if they were there for comedy or just to, like, be there to judge, but who knows? I don't know. Actually, I did at that show. I had like a dance battle with a kid because I was in the bus alone. That's what it was. I was in the bus alone, but the bus's like windows or the thing wasn't closed, and I couldn't close it because the bus wasn't on. And there was a kid like looking at me, like everybody was waiting outside, and there was a kid looking at me through the bus, and he was like, "Oh, whip," and then I whipped back, and then like he did like maybe a nay nay, if you will, and then I was like, "Oh, nay nay," and then he was like, "Come here," and then I was like, "Oh, this is where I die. This is where I get stabbed," and I didn't get stabbed, and he was super nice, and the people who I met were super nice, so that's good. Didn't get stabbed. That's the end of my story. Okay, here's my my final favorite story of the week, and this one really excites me. This one really I don't know, makes me giggle. Oh, I'm also going to restart my camera. Also, that's the most like YouTuber thing to do. Canon, am I right? I gotta restart my camera. Come on, Canon. Hey, Canon. That's literally, I feel like that's every YouTuber's fucking content. That's mean. Not every YouTuber's content, not all their content, but like, I don't think there's a YouTuber who uses Canon who hasn't said that and hasn't like made it like a bit. And then like the audience knows, and then the audience who doesn't know cameras is like, fuck Canon, and then they're like, no, we can't do it. It's just we can't move it past 30 minutes. Stupid. That's every podcast in the world, like with like one person and no producer. Every podcast in the world. Hey, Canon, learn how to record for 30 minutes or longer. Then the comments go, I still can't believe they haven't updated this. And then they go, I can't believe this either. God, who cares? Wow, I'm rude. Okay. So here's another story I saw this week that just tickled me fancy. Genuinely tickled me fancy. And I've never been tickled this way before. So here's the headline. Miami advances plan to move homeless onto island. Bit of a dystopian concept, huh? Move all the homeless onto an island. And then they won't bug ya. They won't bug ya. And then it's going to be good. Everything's going to be good then. Because there's islands have resources for homeless people to become like housed and eat and drink water. What if this was like the new Survivor, where it's like, okay, we're moving every homeless person in Miami onto one tiny island, and then they battle it out. Then they literally fight to the death. That's a show. That's a good show. But unfortunately, let's see. This says, wow, okay. The program calls for construction of 50 to 100 tiny homes on Virginia Key on a 863 barrier island. 63 acre barrier island. 863 acres is huge. That's ginormous. And you're only putting 50 to 100 tiny homes? And what? Each person gets one tiny home, so you're moving 50 to 100 people onto an island? What's the point of that? What kind of economy are you going to build that way? Also, how are you getting resources in there? 863 acres is like a bunch of miles. I don't know how many miles, but a bunch of them. The location is home to a summer camp for kids. A sewage plant is not too far away. And right across the water is one of the most expensive zip codes in the U.S. Miami, of course. Okay, so good. No more summer camp for kids. Which, I mean, it's like, fine. Fuck the kids, right? Because it's like, these kids are fine. If they can afford a summer camp on a fucking huge island, they're fucking fine. You know what I mean? But also, who makes a summer camp on a place that's right near a sewage plant? It seems like the kids were like, God, this island smells. This island smells, Mom. Mom, this island smells. You're paying $5,000 a week and this island smells. And then she's like, God, what do we do with this island? What do we do with this island? What do you expect me to do with this island? And he's like, I don't know. Miami has a problem with homeless people. So maybe you could move them onto the island, right? You know what, honey? That's a great idea. What? That's insane. Commissioners are calling the idea a transition zone, and the plan would provide housing, food, showers, and even outreach services for some of Miami's homeless population. First of all, I love that they're calling it a transition zone. I love living in a zone. And the plan would provide housing, tiny houses, food, showers, and even outreach services. Wow! Oh my God, they're even providing outreach services. Those kings and queens. Florida has about 27,000 people who are experiencing homelessness, and the program would house only 100 people. Okay. Then you're getting a lot of people who are saying that this is basically a concentration camp. Kind of agree. And then let's see. The Virginia Key Alliance said placing homeless on a small island with no residents, services, or security to support their needs is heartless. I mean, come on. You can't have it all. You want them to have services, security, and support? Come on. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You can't have it all. What are you talking about? Darn. Actually, that is really funny. It's really funny that they're moving homeless people onto an island where they can't get a job, right? They can't get groceries. Like, say they had food stamps. Where are you going to spend them? Are you going to swim across the key to go get fucking groceries? No. What is the point of this? I guess I don't know. And then somebody also says, there's a like the summer camp, and there's like a park and a beach, I guess, on this. Wait, also, how weird is that? Are there like other houses on this? Or is it just homeless people? Because if there were other houses, it would be a little bit better than like just homeless people, because just homeless people is insane. You're just moving people. You're like, these people don't have homes. So what can we do? We can provide them homes, but we can also push them so far away from society that they'll never get back in. And that's what we need. That's exactly what we want. Some people are mad because the beach will be having homeless people in swimsuits. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? And then another person also said that there's a large population of mosquitoes, and it's one of the most humid islands. And so it seems to me Like, that's a great idea. You know what? That is a perfect idea. Because it's like, what are you going to do? Homeless people, right? What are you going to do? Can you give them housing in a city where they have access to grocery stores and possibly getting a job? You could, but you could also move them onto an island, right? Now, I don't know how you get onto this island. It would be really funny if it was only by boat, because then these people literally have nowhere to go, and they just have to like paddle. Oh, I'm just gonna paddle 3-4 miles to go get groceries. Yeah. I mean, work is about 7 miles away. I have to swim past sharks and oil tankers, and there's actually an oil spill right on the side of this island. But at least we have tiny homes. God, what an insane. That's like Black Mirror. That's insane. That's genuinely an insane idea. But if it happens, I'll go. I would love to interview the people without homes and see like what their takes are on this, because I mean, I guess the question is being put on an island of seclusion with only homeless people and no opportunity for growth or job or support or services better than being homeless in a city with those things? I don't know. I'm not homeless, so I don't know. But it's a very interesting idea, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have some updates on that later on. I actually earlier today, off topic, in closing, bad at transitions. Speaking of bad at transitions, it's a bad transition moving the homeless people onto a concentration camp. I today went to the grocery store, and it was about 1.5 miles away. I biked on a city bike. It was a blast. I parked the city bike, walked with my dad's shoes, got some groceries. It was awesome. Ran into a guy. I was like, I hate when people are cleaning bathrooms and then they just look at you like you gotta wait. But like, I really gotta go. I told you I was not going to talk about poop this episode again, but like, I really had to go. And so I was like, is there any chance I could use the bathroom? And I had my headphones on, and he was like, well, first of all, take off your headphones. And I was on the transparency mode, and I was like, no, I can hear you. And he took off his mask, and he was like, well, we're going to need to communicate. Okay. So he pulled down his mask. He's like, I pulled down my mask so that we can communicate. And I was like, no, I can actually hear every word you're saying. I just really have to use the bathroom. And then he looked at like a lady behind me and was like, okay, good. What is this? My third day here, second day here. Already making friends, baby. Already fitting right in. Next time, you know what? I'm going to take off my headphones, throw them in the trash, right? And I'm going to say, no, now I can hear you. I can hear you now. Or I can go, no, actually, sir, Apple just came up with this new thing called transparency mode. And actually, so I hit a button and I can actually hear, better than I did without transparency mode, like without headphones, because it's like pumping in. There's microphones on the outside of the AirPod Maxes. And so like I can hear every word that you're saying more than I could have. Like I can hear things around me. I have like sonar hearing. I'm basically a bat, you know what I mean? Or maybe a dolphin. And I think that would have gone well had I confronted him and said, well, it seems like you're old and you don't understand, but transparency mode makes it so that I can actually hear you a little bit better. This is kind of like therapy for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like I am able to talk to a camera and not go to therapy. I probably should go to therapy, but I also hate therapists. But I've also been to probably 15 therapists in my lifetime. And I'm fixed. I'm cured. I'm all better. I'm all better. Everything's fine. I'm so good. Everything's great now. Okay? But if you're hesitant to go to a therapist, definitely go to a therapist. But for me, I'm just perfect in every way, so I don't go. I used to, 15 therapists. Whew. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, whatever it might be. Thank you for your support on everything. This move would have been a shit show if I didn't have your support. I wouldn't be able to afford rent here. So this is a dream come true, and I can't thank you enough. I've always wanted to have a podcast like this where I just talk, and it's not heavy topics, and it's just fun. So definitely, if you're interested in more, subscribe, rate, and review, all that shit. Check out my main channel. I've got a bunch of new stuff coming up. Check out my Patreon. And I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.